Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving. And today I wanted to do a get ready with me on this Thanksgiving Day look that I created. I call it my Thanksgiving Day Cranberry Edition look. And I wanted to do something that was, well, pretty much cranberry infused. That went along with my skin coloring and was also gesundheit. That's my mother sneezing. And and that was also very fall inspired too. That wasn't like too vampy because I don't know about you, but I'm not really trying to vamp out in front of family. You know, vampy lips, not for the family. That's for a date. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be kind of long because when I'm trying to explain things that get long, but I did try to cut it down as much as I could. So I hope you enjoy. Bye. I'm starting with Studio Gear Prime Objective Skin Perfecting Face Primer. This is the primer that I did a video on a couple days ago where I showed you my first impressions of it. And now I'm moving on to color correcting, which I start with a green color corrector that has salicylic acid in it because I do have pimples and that redness needs to tone down before I start putting on foundation. And I also use yellow Correctors Cover Stick from Maybelline and orange color corrector from NYX, their concealer jar. Excuse me. And I use those for under eye where I mix the orange and the yellow together for my under eye circles. And I use the orange alone for the dark areas of my face. And then I use Maybelline Better Stay foundation. And this is my second bottle of this. The first bottle I got was when I got it free from Influencer, and I liked it so much I decided to get some more of my own. I'm using the oval brush to apply my foundation. Now sometimes, because this isn't a full coverage foundation, I need to apply more, and that's what I like about foundations where you can build the coverage on, because some areas I need more coverage, like where I do a large portion of color correcting, I apply more foundation to these areas to help make everything a little bit more even. And to give that really good airbrush finish, I use a beauty blender. Now I don't use the beauty blender by itself. I apply some foundation to it, which is again like I like that buildable coverage, because when you just use it damp and to smooth things out, it takes away color. It takes away some of your foundation, and I don't want that. So I put a little pump of foundation on the areas, and I use that to kind of smooth everything out. Now I'm going on to conceal. Now I'm not doing using concealer to highlight at this point because I'm not looking for, a full contoured look with all the highlight and contouring going on. So I'm just using a little bit on the areas. And you notice how I take it out, past my eye on the outer edge. That's because with the way my eyes are hooded, it creates a shadow there. And I want to lessen the impact of that shadow. So I extend my concealer out that far. And now I'm using my e.l.f. under eye setting powder to set my under eye area and to set the area around my mouth so that everything looks as perfect as it can be. I don't get things perfect and I'm close to perfect. And I want to create this kind of cranberry look, which is red but like kind of softish reds. So I mixed the reds with browns for my eye look. And I'm going to finish with a cranberry shade lip color. And I'm using the Beach Cosmetics Modern Mattes palette. for my eyeshadow. And unfortunately, these don't have the color names on it, so I can't tell you what color is what. But before I start, I'm going to put tape on the sides of my eyes, because with me having hooded eyes, if I take the shadow from corner to corner all the way down, my eyes will look small, and I want my eyes to look a bit lifted, so I use that tape as a guide. And right now I'm applying my transition color, which is a medium tone brown shade. And then next I'm going in with a darker brown, you know, slightly above my crease, just to give it a little bit more depth. And really right now all I'm doing is layering different shades of brown in here. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm adding in the red color. I'm adding in the front and the outer corners and bringing it in. And then take my blending brush and I blend the colors. And for me, it's always all about blending. I'm not really in for that, the rainbow color thing for my eyes. I like everything to be blending, to have like a nice little wash of color. It's a little bit too red for my liking, so I'm mixing in another brown shade to tone it down some. And now finally I'm going into my Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale palette, the Beach Goddess palette, and I'm putting a copper shade in the center of my lid to make things pop a little bit. And that copper is going to appear a little bit more red than normal because of the red tones and the eyeshadow. And now I'm moving on to my brows. And I never get my brows perfect, but I always tell people that I get them passable. And right now I'm just outlining with the brow pencil from Billion Dollar Brows. It's the universal brow pencil. And I'm just brushing that color in. And the next I'm applying a brow powder, which is also from Billion Dollar Brows in Taupe. And now I'm going to use concealer to kind of clean up the area and make it a little bit more defined so the brow stands out. And this is kind of how I cheat to make my brows look a little bit better than what they normally would look. And now I'm going to curl my lashes. And this eyelash curl is from Majestic Bombay. Okay, and I prime my lashes with the clear mascara. You see that's Maybelline Great Lash, and that's the clear formula. So if you don't want to spend money on an eyelash primer, just get some clear mascara and that'll work. You see right there, I was dusting away the setting powder. And now I'm using Lancome Grandiose mascara. And this mascara really makes my lashes pop. And one little trick that I want to mention here is that if you want your lashes to be a little bit more curlier, if you take the wand and go to the underside of your lashes and just roll it out, like twisting the wand and rolling it out, it'll really curl your lashes nicely. And you always got to get those lower lashes too. And I use the tip for that. Excuse me. And now I want to use my setting powder on here. Now this is not the one where I use to bake, but just to set the rest of my makeup on and to even out my coloring a little bit. Okay, now on to contour. Now I use a flat foundation brush for contour. because this gives me more control. And now I'm working on my nose area. Not trying to look like I have plastic surgery done, but just to kind of contour it a little bit so you see a little bit more depth to it, because my nose is pretty flat. Like I pretty much have no bridge. And then, like I said, for everything, you blend it out. So I'm blending, buffing, because you don't want to walk around with those harsh lines on your face. Like, I like the way the contour looks, but I don't want it to be obvious that I did do contouring. I always feel that things should be subtle when it comes to contouring and highlighting. Although highlighting can be a little bit brighter. And now I'm going to tone it down a little bit more with a bronzer. And this is the Make Cosmetics Bronzer in Solstice. I think it's level warm 1. Okay, and now I'm using the blush from the same Beach Goddess palette. I think the blush name is Bermuda. But if you get the palette, it's the only pink shade in there. Okay, now I'm gonna do a 2-step highlight. The first step I'm using Burberry's Fresh Glow. And I'm putting that on the high points of my face. And depending on when you use this, you can either have a really intense glow or a subtle glow. Like if you use it kind of as a primer, then you'll have a subtle glow to your face. If you use it after you put your makeup on the high planes, it's going to be a more intense glow, like, you know, you have a light shining on your face. And that's kind of what I wanted for this look, to kind of have that, you know, look where I got a light shining on my face. But I do want to tone it down, so I'm putting on another level of highlight that's more golden and not as like white and pearly. And I'm also going to even tone that down a little bit more, warm it up a little bit with the leftover bronzer color that was on my brush. And now it's time for the lips, that cranberry color. Now when I do my lips, I like to line, then fill in with the lip liner, and then apply my lip color. And then I like to blot, then apply lip color again, then blot again. And what that does is it helps your lip color to last longer, even if you have a long-lasting formula. Because unless you got like a flat matte lip color that won't transfer at all, you're going to need to layer your color if you want it to last through at least one meal. And the pencil I'm using is it's an old Avon formula, the Color Trend Lip Liner in Wild Berry. And the lipstick I'm using is Maybelline Color Sensational. It's a new shade called Blissful Berry. And it looks more cranberry to me, so that's where I got the idea to do this whole cranberry infused look. Now the Color Sensational is a long-lasting formula, but those long-lasting formulas, those are meant to last through, like if you take a drink, they're not really built to last through if you're going to sit there and actually sit down and eat a meal. So that's why I say you need to layer, because trust me, that lip color, it lasted through Thanksgiving dinner. Now here I'm finishing off with another dusting of powders, my e.l.f. Can't even talk. My e.l.f. HD powder that gives me a soft focus finish, where you still see everything, the highlight and all that going on in the contour, but you know how those soft focus filters are. That's the kind of finish that it gives your face. And then I'm setting it all with a dose of spray from Glam Essentials.